Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So it won't be long-winded. Like, you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
Well, that was unexpected. Tom Brady, on the one-year anniversary of his fake retirement, actually retires out of the blue with no advance notice to any of the info bots. Nothing. And he's down at the ocean somewhere. I have this vision of, they used this device a couple of times in Seinfeld, where one of the characters is contemplating a big decision out deep on a dock and there's seagulls flying around. I have this vision that Tom Brady walked out onto a dock somewhere and leaned over and pondered the ocean and finally decided, you know what, screw it, I'm done. But it is stunning. And Chris, I got to give you credit. You said all along, he's playing until he's 45, he's playing until he's 45, he's playing until he's 45. He's not playing next year. And there are all these suggestions, people close to him, Rodney Harrison, the same day Rodney interviewed him, Christmas in Arizona. Rodney says, I think he's playing for somebody other than the Bucs next year. And this 49ers opportunity opens up with Brock Purdy's elbow injury.
Right.
Tom Brady, 1 year to the day after he didn't really retire, says he's retiring. And one thing he said on the Let's Go podcast during the season, the next time I do it, I am not coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. I guess I'm shocked just to hear it right now, today, all of that, right? I mean, I knew this was a possibility, but I thought maybe there might be a little bit of a flirtation process. Let me just see if there's one team here that makes sense to where I can make one last run. Yeah, I mean, knowing, some people in Brady's orbit and whatever else, 45 was always the number. So that's why I said that. But damn, I mean, as we got to the end of the year, I was going, I don't know. It seems like he might play again. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't. Either way, like, I'm happy for Tom Brady. I am. I mean, I'm happy that, hopefully he's at peace with the decision. And at the same time, I'm sad too. I'm sad for him because I know how much he loves the sport. He's obsessed with it. And he's been the greatest competitor and most dedicated person I've ever seen in my life towards football. He has. And, and he's made the most out of every opportunity. He is literally the poster child for, if you work hard and do all the things right, you can accomplish more than your dreams can ever imagine. Because he certainly has been other quarterbacks with more talent than he has. But his talent was always, I think, a little underappreciated for how talented he was. But all the other stuff was just off the charts. And, I mean, legend of legend and, in his own area of the Hall of Fame, that's for sure.
Well, and he developed that thing that we're seeing from Joe Burrow, that knack for making big throw, big spot, rising to the occasion, embracing and relishing those moments. They are fleeting, and he never shied away from it and never got caught up in his own thoughts and never played it safe, always went for it and always delivered on the biggest of stages. 7 Super Bowl championships for Tom Brady. A deflating way to go out, and I don't mean that as a pun. It really is an odd way for the season and his career to end. Home game against the Cowboys. They got outclassed start to finish. He had that trip that he was not criticized as much as he should have been for, that Bush League play, because he was upset that Malik Hooker had recovered a fumble and they were down 24-0. It's just, you hate that to be your last moment. But I think he realized it was impossible to engineer it so that he would walk away holding a trophy. And he probably thinks at some level he should have listened to those close to him who were saying after number 5, after number 6, after number 7, this is the time to walk away.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be, maybe a little regret. It was a tough year, not only on the football field, but, as these are things we knew, but the public is finally realizing, I think, with some of the articles that have come over the last 2 weeks, how difficult, the divorce was from Gisele Bündchen and the things they went through in August. And this is a guy who I think, wants to be a good husband and father, but loves and is obsessed with something and loves that too. And it obviously, put a thorn in the relationship. And we saw he lost weight. We talked about it. We knew, that it was stressing his life out. He was heartbroken, obviously. He was. So it was a tough year. But damn, I don't know. My last, thought of Tom Brady certainly won't be the Cowboys game or this year. There's so many. He won. I don't give a damn how much this year or what it looked like the last game. He won. He had so many magical moments. Gosh, damn. 20 years straight of just like, well, it's Brady in New England. Well, it's Brady in New England. Oh, they don't look as good this year. Oh, it's the playoffs. Watch out. It doesn't matter. It's Brady in New England. They're going to turn it on to another level here. They're never out of it. It doesn't matter. What? 2 seed, 3 seed, 1 seed, doesn't matter. Gonna be in the Super Bowl conversation. It just really never happened like that in football through that extended period of time, and I don't know if it ever will happen ever again.
Now, an ultra next level cynic, and I can be very cynical, but
not you. Huh?
Well, hey, Chris, we've seen time and again.
I know
how many lies are told. Brady himself has said 90% of the things he says publicly aren't the truth. So you need somebody who's. And I remember I used to be very naive and gullible because life is easier when you just believe everything you're told. You don't have to filter through what's
ignorance is bliss.
What's not the truth.
Right.
How am I being manipulated? Right.
And
I remember going to law school. September 1988, and one of my professors said, my job is to give you a crap filter. And there's a lot of crap out there, and you need to be able to filter the crap from the truth. So I was kind of programmed that way starting at age 23, and I say all that as the wind-up to this reality. He's got a movie coming out this weekend. Hey, deliberate or not, this is a hell of a way to get people to go see a movie that, by all appearances, is going to suck. Sorry, Jane and Liz and Rita and Sally, but is that who all's in it?
You said some of them, right?
Yeah, no, Lily.
Oh, Lily
Liz,
Tomlin.
Lily, they know who we mean. But an ultra next level cynic would say this is all part of the promotion because he was just at the premiere last night. He goes to the premiere of 80 for Brady. And I just wonder, in some quiet moment, did Jane Fonda impart some wisdom, some kernel that caused him to wake up this morning and have great perspective and realize it's time to get on with my life? Realize it's time to move on to other things. Who knows? Maybe he's going to get into acting. Maybe he's going to make more movies. Maybe he's going to play somebody other than himself in a movie at some point. We'll see. But we've seen others try and fail, but we've seen a few try and thrive. So there's Brady just last night. Last night. What do you do with your hands at a movie premiere? It's actually kind of funny. But I can't, regardless of whether he intended it, And you know what? Maybe it's a true retirement, and he just realized I may as well do it now to get people to go see this movie. And he was going to retire anyway. He was just picking the right time. But it's not – there are no coincidences. If I believe what I say when I say there are no coincidences, this is going to get more people to go see that movie than otherwise would have gone to see that movie. I think we can say that with some degree of confidence.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt that. Now listen, I got some of that cynic in me as well, okay? All right? My mom raised me to question things, and, she's a girl from Jersey. She's got some Jersey street smart, so I'm with you there. My cynic brain and all that goes to, well, damn, the teams he really wanted to go to told him no yesterday. That's where my brain goes, right? He talked to the Raiders, and they were like, hey, I like it, Tom, but it's not going to work out. And he was on the phone with the 49ers, and they were like, Tom, we like you, but damn, we got Brock and Trey, and we got so many damn things here. That's where my mind goes. Now, I don't know if any of that's true.
That's a great point, too.
Yeah.
Hey, and it may just be that he came to the conclusion they're not going to be rolling out the red carpet for me. This isn't going to be like it was 3 years ago.
Right.
Like, they need some time. Well, Tom, we need some time. We need to see how some of these other things work out. We're going to consider you. You're our guy, but I got to see, we got some other irons in the fire here. So maybe he didn't get the kind of love, overwhelming recept. Yeah, where, last year the Dolphins were like, come on, Tom, come on, Tom, come on, Tom. This year they're not. Now, if Tom had pursued them, maybe they would have warmed up to it. But I think you may be onto something just from the perspective of there wasn't a sense of a looming land rush like there was 3 years ago. There wasn't that sense that there's somebody with this grand plan where he rides into town. No, it was more of a, well, Tom, okay, we'll give you due consideration. And he's never been treated that way. And that may have been part of the rude awakening that gets him to say, hey, you know what? If this is the way it's going to be, I'm done. I'll go make the Fox money. And now that's going to be the next question. Does he go straight to Fox and bump Greg Olsen out of the booth at a time when Greg Olsen is becoming the toast of the town?
Damn, he's
and there
good.
Are people who are saying, we want Greg Olsen.
Right, Greg's good.
We want Greg Olsen. There's been all this. Greg Olsen is what they thought Tony Romo was going to be, and Romo is down and Olsen is up, and now Brady elbows his way in, and Olsen gets bumped back to number 2. That's not going to make for the most seamless and easy arrival for Tom Brady. He may want to take a year off. He may not want to bump Greg Olsen out. They may want to do a 3-man booth with Olsen and Brady by the time it's all said and done, frankly. But that's the next chapter here. When does he go work for Fox and make $37.5 million a year?
Yeah, sure, it is. I saw Greg Olsen. He was asked about some of these things last week. He knows what he signed up for. He knows it's Tom Brady looming. Either way, he's made the most of his opportunity. And to like what you were just saying, Greg Olsen's great. He's turned the corner to be one of the best announcers in the game. So he'll land on his feet. He might have to be number 2 at Fox for a little while, but he has certainly, I think, established himself as one of the marquee, announcers in the game. But yeah, you're right with the Brady thing.
But Chris,
yeah.
let me just add one more point.
Yeah.
Here's what it's going to do.
Right.
It's going to make everyone inclined to be hypercritical of Brady from the get-go.
Yeah,
because they like Olsen.
Right.
This is the guy that's replacing Olsen, so you better be damn good. And we've already been force-fed 20-plus years how great Tom Brady is. All right, Tom, go ahead. Show us what you got. And if it ain't what we want, and if it ain't Greg Olsen, we're going to tweet about it, we're going to write about it, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to say how bad you are at this job. It just adds more pressure to Tom Brady in this next act whenever he starts it.
It does. I don't disagree with you there. Damn, if there's one guy that I know can handle a little pressure, it's him. And I do think he's got the personality. If he's just willing to let it go a little bit and not worry about, hey, oh, man, this guy over here might not like me after I say that, I think he'll be phenomenal. Because Tom Brady in a real setting where he's not worried about what everybody thinks of him is a pretty awesome, entertaining guy. And hopefully he can show that. And then the playing thing, Mike, yeah, I kind of agree with what you were saying there too. I just don't think there was a team that was going to roll out a red carpet. It's different than when he went to Tampa or even last year, where you could sell to your organization, wait, we're going to have him multiple years. Right? I even think last year they could sell it like, hey, this is going to be Brady we'll get him for 2 years here in Miami. And of course in Tampa before that, they knew that it was going to be more than a 1-year rental type of thing. So that's where I think it became a little bit of a cloudy picture probably for him too, is because we kind of hit on this in previous weeks. Every team, yeah, hey, we want Tom Brady, great. Oh, but, this kind of 46 is going to be it, and we're going to need another quarterback the next year. That's where it's a little different, I think, as well, let alone he is going to be 46, and we saw a dip in his play. Even though he's still good, we did see a dip in his play. So I just think the stars maybe aligned finally to where he realized it was time to move on and do better things in life.
One other reality, the fact that Aaron Rodgers will be back this year. Because remember, we said this last year, Aaron Rodgers is not going to want to go into the Hall of Fame the same year as Tom Brady.
Right.
Because it will be Tom Brady with Aaron Rodgers. Brady gets his year, and then Rodgers gets his year the next year or the year after that. Makes me even more convinced we'll see him again. Here is a tweet from Jeff Darlington, who's been very plugged in with Brady in recent years. Tom Brady informed the Bucs today at 6 a.m. he'd be retiring. One aspect I'd been mentioning for a bit now, Brady for months implied to many close to him that it was going to either be a return to Tampa or retirement. Tough for many to believe, including those close, but he meant it. Hey, okay, fine. It meshes with your take. The others aren't lining up to sign him, so he can say it was Tampa or no one. I'm more inclined to believe that he was willing to explore other options until he realized the other options weren't going to be as zealous in their pursuit of him as maybe he had expected.
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure we'll hear some things. Either way, whatever. The GOAT is retiring, and holy shit! The guy was amazing. Some of his records and stats, right, Mike? I don't know when some of these are going to be broken. I really don't. Babe Ruth, the home run king, and all those, Hank Aaron, how long some of those great records in sports lasted. I think Brady, damn, we're sitting here when I'm 80 and you're dead, but I'll be 80 and I'll go, damn, nobody's even close to Brady yet still. And here we are 40 years after you're retired. He's made such a mark on the sport that, gosh, it's 100 years from now we're going to be talking about Tom Brady as still one of the greatest things in the history of the NFL.
Why are you convinced that I'm going to be dead when you're 80?
I don't know. It just sounded better that way.
Listen, I'd be 95 when you're 80.
You could probably do it. The Italian stallion in you probably can do it, yes.
You'll experience this in about 15 years when I'm 72. But as you get closer to 60, even when I was about to turn 50, I start doing the math. It's like 10 years is 60, 20 years is 70, 30 years is 80. Well, I remember 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like that long ago.
Right.
Like, I remember 20. I remember 20 pretty vividly. And it doesn't say, and it's just kind of like that. So, and the clock's ticking, baby. Enjoy your life while you can. And,
right.
and that's a message for anyone at any age. We don't want to turn this into some sort of a dark exercise. But maybe Tom Brady's realizing that too. He's 45. I remember when I turned 45, the first thing I thought was, holy shit, I'm halfway to 90. And I suspect that Tom Brady's had that thought at some point over the course of a very tumultuous 45th year on Earth. And he's moving on to other things. But I think everything that we've discussed bears consideration. Number one, he was always going to play until he's 45. Number two, they weren't lining up to kiss his butt and get him on their team ASAP. Number three, he is promoting a movie. And number four, maybe he's had some broader awakening sparked by something that was said to him by Jane Fonda or Lily, a.k.a. Liz Tomlin, or Rita Moreno, or Sally Field, or some combination of the four last night at the premiere. Maybe that's what happened. But regardless, that will be dominating the discussion for the balance of the day and the coverage at ProFootballTalk.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.